Hi everybody, today I thought I would talk to you about enmeshment with narcissism. My ex-husband and his mother had a very dysfunctional relationship. He always prioritised her above myself and the children, which was obviously always like a major problem with us. Only a couple of years ago, at my sister's wedding, he decided to up and leave in the middle of the wedding to go and sort out his mum's car insurance, which is very strange, but again, a narcissistic, enmeshed thing to go and do. In the 18 years that we were together, he never had my back against her. He always took her side whenever she went in on me about anything, childcare. One time she actually went in on me about my weight. I weigh just over 8 stone. At the time I was larger, but I wasn't anywhere near as large as what she was. She's probably, I would say, double my weight, and yet she went in on my weight. And he said nothing to her at all. And I didn't have a go back at her because I was always quite intimidated by her and didn't want to face the narcissistic rages. But yeah, she said that I should be a lot thinner because I'm vegetarian, and that I should be taking a lot more care of myself. And she's a great one to talk because she's double the size and had all the time and money in the world, which is something that I didn't have. Totally strange relationship though that they had. They were in each other's pockets. She would call him multiple times each day. He would run massive decisions by her rather than by myself. He was always thinking that he'd spoken to me about major decisions, but he hadn't, because he'd spoken to her. And the enmeshment continued. They were strangely linked to each other in a very dysfunctional way. He gave her keys to her house. She would just turn up whenever she felt like, just walk in. She'd just be there. You know, it was strange. She had no boundaries. There was no boundaries laid down. And to be honest, it is my fault as well. I totally should have laid boundaries with her. And this is when you go into a new relationship. This is when you've got to lay boundaries, because down the line, laying down boundaries with people, once they've got into a fixed routine, I didn't lay enough boundaries with my ex-husband, and he walked all over me. My ex-mother-in-law has no regard for boundaries. They have no moral compass as well. So rules and regulations don't apply to them. They don't care about stuff. They will, you know, if they want something, they will go after it. They will do whatever they feel like. An example of that is when we were in France on holiday one time, and there was a hosepipe ban, and there was a pop-up pool out in the garden. And the water was fairly low down in it, and we'd been told you mustn't use the hose pipe, water ban. What did my ex-mother-in-law go and do? She filled up the pool. She didn't care. She wanted water in that pool, she filled it up. She didn't give a shit that there was a hose pipe ban on. They don't care. Morally, they're out there. I mean, that's just a minor thing, but you know, she did so many things. So did my ex-husband. Morally, they have no compass. They just do whatever they feel like. They'll walk over whoever they want to, whenever they want to. We all know this if we've been with people. Lay down your boundaries, people, with them. Do not let them walk all over you, because they will. And once they start taking advantage of you, they will just continue doing it. My ex-mother-in-law, you know, she has helped destroy my marriage, I mean, and she was living in with us, and she has a brilliant way of rewriting history. This is what they do. They gaslight you, totally gaslight you, change history until they believe their own lies. They totally believe their own lies, and they have other people believing their lies. And if they tell the story enough times and change it enough times, they will convince people of what they've done, and they will just live in this bubble of their own making, and twist everything so you're the bad person. I mean, I had my ex-mother-in-law move in with us after my father-in-law died. My ex-husband deciding to buy properties with her. and deciding to put our house on the market. My name was never on the deeds of the house. I disagreed with all of this, come home, see them sitting there. They'd gone out, seen a solicitor. I wasn't involved in any of this. I felt I was being pushed out of my own house. It was such a weird thing. I was so down. I was suicidal. It was crazy. He was just in with his mother. You know, she could do no wrong. Even though I had to listen to her day in, day out, talking about my father-in-law, how she hadn't looked after him properly, she'd left everything dusty, he had needed everything clean because he had a lung condition. This was the woman who just before his being my ex-father-in-law was being kept on a lung transplant list, took me aside and told me she did not believe in lung transplants or any transplants of any description. She did not believe that anybody's organs should go into somebody else's body, which is fair enough. That's her views. But she took me aside to tell me this just before my ex-father-in-law went in. It was his only hope of continuing on, you know, living. And she took me aside, told me not to tell her son or her daughter. And I was devastated by this news. I felt psychologically, spiritually, that she put a block on him getting the lungs that he needed. Twice he went to the hospital, twice he was blue lighted in an ambulance to get lung transplant, and twice he did not receive the lungs. And I do feel that she blocked it for me, and that's the spiritual way that I see things. The enmeshment, the total way that she abused and put down my ex-father-in-law, who was just angelic in my eyes, you know. And my ex-husband, he just had his mum on a pedestal. She had him on a pedestal, blue-eyed boy. He could do no wrong, nothing. I used to say he could be standing there punching me in the face and she would see it, and she would not think to stop him. She'd think that I was doing something to provoke him. It was that kind of relationship. It was a strange one. I truly believe, though, that he wasn't happy with her. In some ways as well, he was very resentful and angry at her. You know, she enmeshed him. She kept him like a surrogate husband to him. And especially now that my father-in-law has died, he definitely kind of seems to have stepped into that role. She told one of my friends who's a car mechanic when he was sorting out her car, "Oh, I love my son. I love my son so much. I will do anything for him." And this is a 46, 47-year-old man that we're talking about, and his mother is speaking about that. I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't had that kind of care from my parents, I'm not sure. But he used to become resentful of her as well and angry at her, especially if she used to be continuously phoning him or taking up his time. And then because he was angry at her, he would take his temper out on me and the children. Enmeshment. If you see a mother enmeshed man, if the man is prioritizing you the whole time, putting his mother above you and the children, like what my ex-husband did with me and my children, run away fast, get to the hills, don't look back. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I felt like I was divorcing my mother, ex-mother-in-law, as well as my husband, but mainly her. She caused so many problems throughout our marriage. I feel if she wasn't around or wasn't involved so much, we would had more of a fighting chance. Even though with his narcissism, I think with her, she just magnified everything. Her darling son could do no wrong. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you here before it hits the 10-minute mark. I think most people just can deal with a few minutes talking about narcissism and enmeshment. Anyway, keep on going, keep going forward, guys, and listen to what I'm saying to you. If you see a mother enmeshed man, run. A mummy's boy, don't even entertain it. Just run away. Make sure they've got a healthy relationship with their mother or all their parents, anybody. Just make sure that there is a healthy relationship. And don't tie yourself down. Okay, love and light. Bye.